David Clarkson joins the club, the injury club that is, and when is rebuilding, tanking, and tanking, rebuilding, all that more, and in the crates, big Tommy C. Yeah, what's happening? Welcome into the crease, Tommy C. And in my crease, he's blocking me. He's trying to get over on me. He's talking trash and farting in my face like PK Subban. None other than PK Subban's. I mean, do you wake up in the morning and say to yourself, I wish he was my dad?
That's my morning ritual.
It is? I wish,
yep.
like, do you ever get in fights with your dad when you're, like, really younger? Because you're a young man. Like, I wish PK Subban was my dad, man. You ever do that?
Yeah.
The greatest PK Subban. I think there's an outside chance just because of the type of guy that he is. Maybe we should make an effort. You know, you could do that too. Get him on this summer. What do you think of that?
I'll do my best.
Well, we'd both do it. Well, let's say PK, you want to come in? He's gone on wacky podcasts before. I don't see why he can't do it now. All
Absolutely.
right, let's get into the National Hockey League. Well, David Clarkson, he becomes a. Oh God, it's been how many days? It's been like a week. Has it even been a week?
It's been less than a week.
It's been less than a week. So David Clarkson ends up on the Columbus Blue Jackets, and of course he's now out for the year. Bobrovsky's been out for the year. I mean, he's, decided to fit in real well with his teammates, and doing so, he's a big hit with the Nurses of Columbus. But it's, I'm mad. Now I'm going to call Jeff out. The joke didn't work, so now I'm mad. Jeff wrote, so if you write a joke and it doesn't work, mostly it was delivery there, I will actually call you out. And if the joke does work, I will give you no credit. It sounded really good. It sounded really good. Jake says that the Columbus Blue Jackets locker room looks like a Civil War medic tent. All right, and here's my question to you, hockey expert. Do you think it's sort of the rugged style that these play, heavy checking, big body, physical, take no shit from nobody type attitude? Is that leading to injuries, or is this just bad luck?
I think it is because of that, because if you look at their lineup, their only true talented superstar is Johansson.
Oh, you really?
Apart from that, I think so. I mean, Foligno's a really good player.
Foligno, get it right. Don't be saying the Italian name wrong. Foligno. You don't. So what do you think about Foligno? Sorry, go ahead.
He's a really good player, but he's not as high talented as Johansson. And
no.
When your team doesn't have a lot of superstars like that, I think they do need to play that rugged blue collar type of game, which can sometimes lead to injuries. But you have to also admit some of it is horrible luck. Dubinsky, who got injured earlier last week, he literally scored a goal and got injured during his celebration.
I know. It's awful.
That's just awful luck.
It's funny you bring that up because we have a very strict rule here on Shot from the Point that we do not laugh or say, like, if Crosby gets hurt, we don't. The player, even Matt Cook, this is disgusting as that sounds, we don't laugh at your injuries. But I got to be honest with you. This is like an ironic, morbid comedy that's going over there. It actually sunk. I think it's very easy to say that this sunk their playoff chances. This was a playoff-bound team from day one. These guys could have had a huge impact in the playoffs. They could have knocked some special player off and the special team off in the first round, and that is no longer going to happen. If you look at the standings right here, and it's kind of sad. They have 56 points. 71 is the minimum at this point, with Boston coming in with the last wild card spot. They're going to be fighting with Florida. They're out. It's over, and it's a sad, morbid comedy, is what it is. Now, like I said, we don't do that over here. We don't freaking sit there and say that, good, you're hurt, unless you get in a fight and you get hurt in a fight, because then you kind of ask for it. Yeah, but it is. I even thought of putting. And I want people to comment on this, but I didn't want to be a big whore like a lot of people in the media. Not that I'm a media person, but I thought about putting David Clarkson's injured out for the year, and it's funny. And I knew that would get more hits, but at the end of the day, I couldn't stomach doing that because it's pretty disgusting and probably leads into one of the next article I have now. So, I really don't think there's too much to talk about. You're more than welcome to call in at 718-395-7660 or Skype is a shot from the point. And if you think I'm a jerk, you can ask Matt a question because he seems to have all the answers, and we'd like to hear from you. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is, and I think this is the reason I didn't do that, because I just couldn't be that much of a hit for horse or a whore for hits. Josh Cooper of Puck Daddy, who's the guy replacement for Harrison Mooney, he wrote an article. Michael Neuwirth, embrace personal positive in Buffalo tank job. And there's a particular line that really gets me. I gotta find it right here. For all the tanking talk, did that bother Neuwirth? After all, winning seemed to be going against organizational orders. If somebody told Neuwirth to tank, I think that's like a crime, if I'm not mistaken. Of the Chicago Black Sox order. So nobody would have told him to tank. And it's just, I don't know, it's positive. And then he goes on, simply against organization. Do you have any proof of that? Or is that just a suggestion? Even if none of Buffalo's higher-ups admit the tank job, players aren't simply wired to lose. Well, no shit. And I don't think... But the article goes on to check, sort of suggests that maybe Neuwirth was complicit in a tank job. And I have no doubt in my mind that the Buffalo Sabres want the best shot at Connor McDavid in this deep draft. But when is rebuilding, and this is another question I have for callers, and a tanking? The team was awful. If you're going to cite the amount of players that left, star players that left, as your evidence for tanking, for actually willing to lose games, then what's rebuilding? Those guys sucked. And they did. They had a team full of stars. They were fucking terrible. So they disband the team. And yes, you might get Connor McDavid. But even if it wasn't a Connor McDavid year, what were they supposed to do? And what's this bringing this 26-year-old kid into this article? And I'll let you read it. It seems to walk right up to the door of conspiracy theory and sort of puts the blame on his back. He even suggested other players had similar responses. Well, nobody told them to lose, so they tried to go out and win tonight, and the team sucked and they couldn't do it. So, I think as a journalist, Josh Cooper, if you're going to use the word tank as they're tanking, maybe you should have some evidence. Yeah? Are they telling these guys to lose? They let everybody go. The team was terrible. All the stars were terrible when they were together. Terrible. What do they do? And they get a little bonus, possibly Connor McDavid. And they still have a draft. They still have to pick a lottery number. Am I off here, Matt?
Absolutely not. The guy has no proof, but where I see it a bit differently.
Go ahead.
Is that early on this year, remember that sequence where Buffalo was winning something like 6 games in a row?
Yeah.
That's when they were actually trying. And that being said, I still think they have a pretty horrible team.
Yeah.
Just maybe not as horrible as the standings show right now, but I think they could have tried a bit harder.
Like what? To make a move?
Just in their play, usually, because
really. So you see some of this. You think those players were actively going out tanking? Obviously, you don't have any evidence, but do you feel that way?
I probably think so, because
really,
as I said, that sequence where they were winning, why couldn't they keep that up?
Because they're not that good as a fluke.
It's true. They're.
I don't.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you're suspicious. All right, let's talk. Look, you're not going out. This is your feelings, okay? I'm not going to say they're your feelings. Josh, the difference between you and Josh Cooper, and I'm not trying to sandbag. I'm not going to sandbag my own guy. It's I mean, even in the headline, Michael Neuwirth embraced personal burst possible in Buffalo tank job. Well, it's like it's like the tanking is a definite, it's an absolute, and the evidence is based on them getting rid of their players. Of course, they weren't winning when they had their original players, and that's what rebuilding is.
But it's not absolute, though. We'll never know what the
Of course,
management is thinking.
we'll never know, and there is there is a lottery.
Yeah.
I honestly think the only way to get rid of this is it's an even lottery. You have the same amount of balls. Everybody's got the same amount of balls. So you don't know. There's no reason to tank because you have no idea you're going to get it. And from the way they do it now, I understand the team has the last place team has the most balls in the lottery. The thing is, what they're worried about is a bad team getting unlucky year after year after year, never getting that first round draft pick to rebuild. Buffalo's a pretty big hockey market they're practically Canadians over there. In fact, I wish they'd annex it sometimes, especially after the Sam Giggins incident. But I just, so you feel that way. Maybe I'm naive.
A little bit.
Maybe. There's some part of you. They did go on a winning streak, but that showed me that they were showing hard. And I just cannot imagine Nolan doing that. I can't imagine it. I mean, could it? We're going on a lot of gut feelings, though. But I mean, I think we could both agree this is a hit job.
Earlier this year, everyone was predicting that Calgary was going to finish in the bottom 5.
Not me.
And not you.
Me. I had him in my playoff, but we did a thing. But I can prove it. I did a show.
Is Calgary that much more talented than Buffalo, though?
Yes. And Giordano. Of course, they have Johnny Hockey from New Jersey. And they have Giordano. They have Johnny Hockey. I think was it TJ Brody. Are they? They have a lot of depth? No. If they did, they wouldn't be struggling like this to kind of make the playoffs. But I think that's another thing. Jerome McGinley's gone. Does that mean they were tanking? I mean, is it the difference? I mean, the whole team, like the Buffalo sucked from the top down for 2 years in a row. And I think in 2013, they were predicted to, there's a lot of star power in the team. They were predicted to do reasonably well. Not be one of the worst teams in the league. So I just don't know. So, like, every time you rebuild, Josh Cooper's going to say you're tanking. He has no evidence. And he's going to use players that were traded or left the organization as examples of almost suggesting that they're complicit by their. What do you expect this guy to say? I mean, let's pretend Neuwirth was tanking and he was told to tank. What do you expect him to say? It almost seems like that Cooper expects Neuwirth to tell him the truth. And I got news for you. If they were tanking, they were getting rid of guys deliberately to do that. That ain't Neuwirth's problem. And even if he thought they were tanking, he just got to get up and do exactly what he did. I think he made a fool of this kid. And my advice to Michael Neuwirth and any hockey player that deals with, if you could help it, I mean, I don't know what the rules are, don't talk to this guy. He might infer that you're a cheater and you're a part of a conspiracy that could put you in jail. I mean, what a scumbag. 718-395-7660. I really like to hear it. It's our last broadcast day, Thursday. We had a hell of a week, hell of a show yesterday. It's weird. My father believes in astrology, and it was just, his fighting was unbelievable. I also have to mention the guy that sent me the nasty tweets. He was not the guy that called me a racist and left in the chat yesterday and told me never to follow him. Stop following him. Well, here's the truth. I know who he is now because I did a little research. He subbed this channel. He was a listener, and he got offended by something I said. I'm not really sure. I think it was actually about the guy that I was goofing on. And what I do is, if you sub the channel, I get a note that you subbed, unless you have your account. Unless your account tells Yahoo, Yahoo, unless your account, your YouTube account, is sort of invisible, then it'll show up as a sub for me, but I won't get your name. When I do that, I usually follow your Google Plus account, which is connected. And you don't have to follow me back. So, just to get some stuff out there, I wasn't following anybody. I follow everybody back that subs the channel. And they're more than likely to, they're welcome to block me, not follow me back or unsub. So I wouldn't follow anybody. And the guy's a real jerk off. And it just shows you, I mean, he was fine with me, obviously, for a long period of time. I think he subbed 2 months ago. And I need somebody to like. And if that's, what can you do? I'll go into some, did you see that tape of those Russian kids fighting? The Russian kids fighting?
No.
There's a video running around that Deb sent me, because Deb sends me all the good stuff. And it was a full-scale brawl. I want to guess between 7 and 9-year-olds, because I didn't actually look up the article. And that shit freaks me out.
7 and 9?
Yeah, it's like between 7 and 9, I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Maybe Deb can correct me on that. And it really is just like, look, I know kids are going to push and shove and fight, but have a full-scale brawl in the middle, it's just, I don't know. I think it's cultural decay. It's really disgusting. So I don't really like that stuff. But keep sending it to me, because I'm a big fan of rubbernecking and watching train crashes. But it's just, it's just like, man, that's kind of fucked up, man. The team won, they skated the center to shake hands, and then they all started punching each other. It was pretty disgusting. In the news, I want to see, am I having a problem? What's going on here? I can't believe I didn't get a call today. Surprised. Slightly surprised. I should have fucking renamed this goddamn thing that it was funny that David Clarkson got hurt. Then I could have controversy, but I couldn't stomach doing it. In the news, NHL fines Toronto Maple Leafs forward Panic for diving and embellishment, which of course makes everybody in Montreal smile. You see, it is not just us. It is those Englishmen in Alberta. Actually, Toronto's not in Alberta, is it? That Edmonton's in Alberta. Toronto's in Ontario. I got that right? Yeah. Okay, so it's Newfoundland, Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia, right?
There's more, though.
Where's the other ones? That's like where
there's Manitoba.
Manitoba, fuck.
Yukon.
I didn't think that counted because nobody lived there.
There's also Nunavut. That's way, way up north.
I know where that is. That's like, that's where they think I
think that's it.
The Vikings landed and the Indians killed them or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
Oh, and New Brunswick.
New Brunswick. Wait a minute. New Brunswick is a province, like a state.
Yeah.
New Brunswick's where I used to go to New Brunswick, New Jersey, and eat donors and stuff. I don't know. A little slow today. I blame you.
Sorry, that's my fault.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm just out of energy. I'm out of fights.
No, that was me yesterday. Now I'm feeling much better, though.
This just in. Jeff just reported this. Joffrey Loophole doesn't approve of the attention Clarkson has been getting from the nurses, so he's filed a lawsuit. So you might want to keep track of that. Thanks, Jeff Huffman. We're really scratching.
We're sorry we made fun of you, Jeff.
Yeah, you like my funny jokes? I'm ripped.
By the way, I'd like to apologize to Jeff.
Yeah.
Because he wrote the news for me on Sunday.
Yes, he did.
And at each time someone would give me credit, like, oh my God, that was you kept the show rolling, Matt. I'd take all of the credit.
Yeah.
And when something wrong would happen, I'd just be like, oh, that's Jeff that wrote it. So,
that's okay. I do
apologize.
that to Jake all the time. Yeah, my wife will say something. Well, where did that come from? I thought it was Jake's idea. I don't know. What can I do with it, guys? What am I going to do? Get rid of him? Okay, what else we got? It's been reported that Patrice Bergeron is likely the Bruins' next captain. There's a earth-shattering story, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that tells me, though?
What?
They're thinking Z's going to retire. They're going to get rid of him over the summer.
Yeah. My friend's a Bruins fan, and he told me this, but I'm not sure if it's true.
God.
He said that Bergeron used to be the captain before Chara. Then he got injured, and they gave it to Chara. And when he came back, they never gave it back to Bergeron.
I don't think so. Is that true? Frenchie Ben, save this nightmare.
Hey, guys.
What's happening? You guys got
not
your ass
much,
kicked last night. You got your ass kicked.
Yeah, again.
Hey, who scored the goal? Who scored the game-winning goal for?
It's assist.
Oh, who had the game? Who had a point? An important point in that game versus the Ducks.
Say cash. He played well.
You say cash money. Might
But
be a
he
better
only
fit over
played,
there. For him.
8 minutes, I think.
Well, you know, if they're willing to let everybody get fat over there, maybe they're willing to let them handle the puck and turn it over too. So this might be a good fit.
They also,
I think it will be. But I see you need help for your geography.
Yes, I'm learning. I thought I had. You know what it is? I think I had all the provinces that hockey teams are in.
In Canada, there's 10 provinces and 3 territories.
10 provinces and 3 territories. What are the territories?
Yukon and Northern Territory and Nunavik.
Yeah.
They call.
Don't they do? Isn't there like a lot of Isn't there a lot of like natural resources up there? Because my dad, I think, went up there and they like live in a it was like a complex and you only like work there 6 months at a time and you like come back and forth and they had like polar bear alerts and shit.
Yeah, of course, Tommy, there is. If you can shovel through 4 feet of snow.
Yeah, this was like a place. I think it's like a mining company, and they had to like land in there, and it's like too cold to be outside, and then they do mining from inside the building or something. Like my dad was telling me, and it's like it's like uninhabitable except for this like complex that gets like I don't know what the hell they're getting out of the ground. I never pay attention to my father. Look at me. Look how I ended up. But yeah, that's what I was told. The cameras.
Yeah, but there are some dispersed throughout the north.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, of course, it's a country of resources. It's
Yes.
like Brazil or Russia.
Well, at least you guys you're smart enough to get it out of the ground, unlike those dopes, those commies.
Yeah, it's not time because the price of commodities are not good.
Yeah.
Hey, is it a hockey show or an economic show?
I don't know. I want to learn stuff, I think.
Yeah, I know.
I you know, everybody makes fun of Americans with their geography. But something tells me not too many Europeans know what the fuck if Yukon's a territory or a province, if I had to guess, Ben. So what do you think? Where do you think your Habs are at? I mean, first place in the East.
Right now, Tommy, it's messed up because there's too many new players or players coming out from injuries. So
Adjustment period.
The system is all messed up right now.
You still only lost 18 games, 41-18-5, 87 points, leading the East.
From my point of view, the important thing is to digest everything that Bergevin did. Mm-hmm. So we have 18 games, let's say, to improve the system. Everybody gets in. Smith-Spelly gets in form. And we'll get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's kind of too late to lose 15 pounds, huh?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, but he's going to do it. He's going to lose at least 5 or 10.
Do you think Smith-Pelly can come in there, intimidate, knock people over, and have an impact? Be honest with me.
No.
Okay,
in
not
15
you.
games, yes.
Yes, you do. You have that much confidence in him. I don't know that you're wrong. It wasn't a criticism.
We see it already. When he hits somebody, you feel the weight.
He hasn't done any major hitting.
Mm.
I mean, yesterday, the new guy, we got Torrey Mitchell. He just leveled the Anaheim player.
Mm.
I haven't
and if
seen.
You see Matt, all the new players are right-handed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We needed them.
How many right-handed? Yeah, most. A lot of people don't know this, but most hockey players are left-handed. Mm-hmm. Actually, I heard most hockey players are
There's more right-handers these days, but it's less common than lefties.
It's really bizarre. I always thought
in Quebec, we are known to be more lefties in golf because of hockey.
Yeah,
and
in
politics.
Wonder, me and Jake are because you're practically in Europe. Oh, we're gonna move to North America and be as French as possible.
What? Kind of tough.
Yeah, I know it's kind of tough for you guys. I love French candidates.
I don't believe that players want to tank or play not to their maximum to get on the floor and get a better choice.
I'm going to ask you right now, and I'm not going to criticize you for your answer. Did they tank this year? I'm talking to players,
but
not
it's not the
management.
player's choice. Maybe they're depressed and they play to a lesser extent. But it's more an administration thing.
Yes. But even then, let's take a look at the administration now. All right, they let a bunch of good players go. When the good player was there, they weren't making the playoffs. In fact, they were at the bottom of the East. So what else do you do? Do you keep the good players and hope they get better? Do you hope the chemistry improves overnight with coach after coach, bad decision after bad decision? Or
Speaking about
you clear the deck
specifically?
What's that? Yeah, I'm talking about Buffalo. I mean, what else could they do? They had to clear the deck, so they went to clear the deck, and now they're cheating for Connor McDavid. I guarantee if the draft wasn't this big, we wouldn't even have this conversation if McDavid wasn't in the draft this year. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can see it in a sense that the team that's going to finish last has 80% of chance not getting the first choice.
Yeah, 80% chance, really?
Yeah, they have 20% to get it, but 80 not to get it.
Yeah.
So that's a big gamble in a sense.
It is kind of a big gamble, and they did go on a winning streak.
But this year, the difference is that there is 2 or 3 generational players.
I don't know. I mean, if they're tanking, if it can prove, if these guys went in and said, we are trying to get this kid, and we're going to tank as hard as we can, they find out there probably should be a criminal investigation, and obviously the player should lose a team. The owner should lose a team.
Because if it's the case, just watch at the Pittsburgh in '83. Mm-hmm. Now they have said it, so we know that sometimes they do things like that. But it's the administration that does.
Do you think Mario Lemieux was tanking in 2002? 2000? Yeah, was it 2000? No, of course not. I don't believe that for a fucking minute. And he had the most to gain by the tank. Because they had the one, and then they went on strike, and then they had the one thing with Crosby. Then they finally got Crosby. I don't believe that for a millisecond. I get angry. Just bring. I want to hear from Dave Rose.
If you remember that year, Pittsburgh didn't finish last. Mm-hmm. They won the lottery, but they were not the
They weren't
last
dead.
team, I guess.
They just got lucky. Dave Rose, call in. You're my moral clarity. Dave Rose, and team member. All right, Frenchie. Thanks for calling in, buddy.
I'm gonna leave you for today.
You guys have a great weekend, and I hope to see you at the start of our broadcast week.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Sunday to Thursday. Oh. That's when we run this. Take care, buddy.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Salut tout le monde.
What does that mean? Goodbye.
He said, bye, everyone.
Bye. Yeah, did he? Auf Wiedersehen. What the hell do I know? But thank you from Frenchie Ben, who always makes wonderful calls. And apparently he's quite educational.
Yes.
Dave, call in if you can. Dave, call in. Yeah, there he is. Because he's moral clarity. Dave, I'm glad I need you here.
Moral clarity.
Yeah, you're my moral clarity. Well, you always kind of, but you're one of the few guys that'll actually call me out and say that I'm fucking wrong. You know, I worry about these guys. They don't tell me I'm wrong enough. You know, and you'll actually say it. So, am I wrong? I don't like.
Not. I've been listening. I've been, I tuned into the show as soon as it started. But this recent discussion, you're right. I mean, it's really difficult to argue the points that you've put forward. But I'd have to agree with you, really.
Okay. Well, at least I'm not wrong. Because I hate being wrong, and I'm arrogant and Dad, am I wrong?
Dave Rose for moral clarity.
Yeah, you said, well, because you're one of the few fucking people they'll just spit it. You know what I mean? And just say, hey, you're wrong, and here's why. So I just needed that. You think they were tanking? They're tanking. Do you think this article was...
arguments, any counterpoints to what you've said. You've basically laid it out, and that's what it is. I mean...
Okay. Deb, where am I at on this? You think I'm right? Wrong? Deb? No, I think Deb's out. Oh, Deb. Where do you think we are here?
For what?
What I was thinking about quitting my job and becoming the pinball champion of the world. What do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so where are
Who's
you on
gonna
the
sponsor him?
So where are you on Buffalo? Where are you on the Buffalo Sabres? Are they tanking or not tanking?
Oh, they're definitely tanking.
Really? All right. Are the
Yeah.
players tanking or is management tanking?
At this point of the season, they have no choice.
Yeah, but I mean, it's illegal. You know that, right? I mean, it's like it's morally, it's contemptible. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they might not be doing it in the exact word,
Yeah.
but they don't have any hope of going into the playoffs.
Yeah. So you think they're doing it? I'd be disappointed. So what was on your mind? What did you want to talk about today?
Well, I talk about my Blackhawks and how they're finally getting their groove back.
Yeah. Sometimes that's tough when you get new players. I really don't think you have too much to worry about.
Well, no, I'm not worried about getting into the playoffs. I'm worried about how far we're going to go.
Well, that's another question altogether. I don't know how much you have to worry about there either. Is big a loss as losing Patrick Kane. This is a team with a ton of excuse me, Stanley Cup experience and extremely deep. And hopefully that rumor was just a rumor. And I think if anybody is capable of carrying this team, it would be Jonathan Toews. I think he's the greatest leader. And honestly, me and Dave were talking about it. If we had to pick like one commander, like one lieutenant to lead us in battle, if we had to guess and the guy would be good, it would be Jonathan Toews. And certainly there's not enough depth around him. If the defense is firing on all cylinders, they can beat any team in the world.
I'm biased, but Jonathan Toews is like one of the best captains right now.
Oh, yeah,
in my opinion.
I would agree. I don't know why he doesn't win the Mark Messier Award like every single year. Every single year. I mean, he's just that good. He's just that good. Jake Link, you've joined us. You have anything to say?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah, no. I agree with Jonathan Toews is definitely the best captain. It's unfortunate that he's not the face of the NHL.
No, he's not.
And that I think he is better than Sidney Crosby.
I think he's we were talking to Harrison Mooney, if you remember correctly, when he was on the show. He said that ice things because he was a Crosby mark. That stuff really doesn't mean too much to the players. I think it means everything. It's a rank.
Yeah.
Young men respect that sort of thing.
Harrison Mooney also said that what's his face, Don Cherry is a dinosaur, and that they shouldn't have toughness and grit to the Olympics.
Yeah. I know.
So, you're talking about Canada.
I don't want to miss it. It's not exactly what he said. What he said was that they needed a guy that was gritty. And I think my response, or maybe the one I wanted to make, was it's not that Cherry's so wrong. It's that the Team Canada is so good. They have diverse players that can play a gritty role, even though they might be first-line scorers on their own team.
I mean, you would really give someone who wasn't a top liner a spot to say like a David Clarkson or something like that. Like at the time, who was a kind of a top player at that current moment. You would give them a top spot over say someone who obviously deserves to make the team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just insane. So I mean, but when you think about it.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
This show is fucking lame. I got news for you after yesterday.
So are you still on Twitter?
Deb, I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm going to leave it up to you to save it. Save it right now.
Save me to save it? Oh, no.
Deb's going to save it.
The pressure's on.
Here's the joke: the New Jersey Devils.
Hey, no. The joke is your fucking team over there in Toronto.
I'm free, brother. You don't understand it. I'm no longer following the Leafs.
He gave up. He gave up citizenship. You know what you should.
I'm done with the Leafs. That's it, baby. I'm free. The truth has set me free.
Have you decided?
Hallelujah.
Have you decided what team that you're gonna be
Actually,
with?
that's a good topic. I was glad that you brought that up. I'm either stuck with the Habs or the Leafs. Now, I have a big connection with the Habs.
Yeah.
I followed them as a kid. Again, big sort of
Rivalry.
rivalry with Toronto. That being said, like I told you in the email, the sweater video, the sweater animation, which is a National Film Board of Canada's animation, is practically required viewing in school. Really got me connected with the Habs as a young kid, and legends from Montreal have really got me interested, from Maurice Richard, to Patrick Roy and all that. And I really love the enthusiasm in Quebec, although Habs fans can be assholes from time to time, but so can Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, they hit their sisters when they find out their players are traded.
Well, okay, but the fact is they've got better vision than
Shove.
Toronto. And that being said, though, there's also the fact that the Winnipeg Jets, I love to root for an underdog team, and I've always loved the Jets. Back in when I think it was '96 when they folded the team and stuff. I was really upset and stuff. I mean, so many great names have come out from Winnipeg, and it is an utilized market where there's a lot of interest, but unfortunately a lot of economic difficulty to match that. I'm always about promoting hockey to Canadians because I think it really helps promote health and just activity and stuff and just enjoyment in our national sport.
Absolutely.
But that being said, I'm stuck between those two teams, and now I'll shut up.
No, well, the thing is,
Can
I
I
want to
give
know.
my 2 cents on the whole loophole and Panouf thing?
Hold on a second, Jake. I gotta go. Deb, I gotta go, and I also got another caller that I'm left on the line, and then we'll get to that in a minute. Thanks for calling, Deb. 323, you're on the air. 323.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, is this Mamba? What do you
Say
got?
my fucking number, man.
I don't know. Always forget to write it down. All right. What the fuck, man? I don't know.
Okay. I'll ask you a question.
Go ahead.
This is like an entire hockey question again.
Sure.
You know,
I
is
help
hockey like any other
minorities
sport?
with hockey. What? Go ahead.
Is it like any other sport? Like let's see, like how we're the Los Angeles teams, right? Or like players are like, oh, I want to go to Los Angeles because it's LA, or is it different?
Yeah.
Like, why did we barely started winning right now? Why haven't we won?
Sort of like you
years
want to be a
before?
Yankee when you grow up? Is that what you're saying? Like a prime time team?
Yeah, I want to be like the Yankees. I want us to just control. I want us to get an all-star team like it's Los Angeles. Everybody go to LA.
I don't think I understand the question. I'm not being a jerk. Like,
So like,
okay, say it again.
Do players want to come to Los Angeles just because it's like the city? Like, is that how hockey players are? Why do we start?
All right, right now,
hockey players want to go to Canada because it's famous there.
All right, here's the way it usually works, and it also depends on the individual. So this is a massive generalization. I would say, of course, the Gretzky years, you'd want to be in LA. Even when the LA sucks, the players tend to like it because of the weather, especially the Canadian players. I mean, it's like kind of a culture shock for them, and it's just cool to be in LA because LA's cool. Recent years, everybody wanted to be in LA because they are sort of a mini dynasty right now, winning 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
But I think in general, the teams that hockey players grow up are probably like the Habs and the Maple Leafs. Because they tend to grow up in those areas. I'm sure there's guys that want to grow up and be on the Rangers, but nobody from New York ever ends up in the Rangers. It just works out that way, or New Jersey, hardly. But yeah, I think those are the teams you really want to be a part of. The Canadian teams. They're in some ways they're more prestigious. The Detroit Red Wings, because there's a lot of Canadian Detroit Reds. So like I would say Habs, Wings, and Maple Leafs. You think that's accurate, Dave Rose?
I do think so. Those are some good teams, and I'd have to.
And New York is like a big original 16, but they're kind of like their own entity. Most American-born boys would probably want to be on the Boston Bruins. You know what I mean? Because
that's agree.
Yeah, so like
it's one of those like original teams, the ones that if you ask any kid who's skating on the rink, well, what team, if this was in the States, what team would you want to play for? They'd probably choose the Bruins, just because the legacy.
It probably
and
at one time would have been the North Stars too, but they moved the damn team.
That's true.
It could have been the North Stars because Minnesota. I'm going by because those produce the most Americans, and I don't put my own team in there, which is like one of the biggest teams that produces the most money, because the New York Rangers are bigger than hockey in New York. It's the strangest. It's the strangest thing. You can find guys that are a long time, Jake will back me up on this, 20, 30-year Ranger fans. They don't know one goddamn player in the other on another team, except maybe the Islanders and the Devils, and they hate them.
That sounds like a lot of Leaf fans.
Yeah. I mean, so the Rangers are just beloved. And that's why they didn't win a Stanley Cup in 54 years. That was the problem. I always make this comparison to your problem, and it is the Rangers, like, they can't do no wrong, even though they suck. You know, and I got to be honest with you, in the late 80s, people started getting a little pissed off, and things did turn around. So maybe this is your turnaround point.
Well,
Dave.
respected to New York, at least they're willing to voice this. I mean, shit, why is it that, fans have to throw their... this year, basically, all the big changes that we've seen has probably been precipitated by the fact that so many jerseys have been thrown onto the ice.
Yeah.
And at least we're actually seeing some spine from the zombies here in Toronto, because for the longest time we haven't seen that. At least fans in New York, in New Jersey, in Boston, are in Montreal are willing to shame the team.
There is
to at least get some response from them.
Yeah, well, the Devils kind of get away with murder too, because they live.
When we lose, nobody gives a fuck. So when we win, everybody's happy.
It's kind of like
the
the Devils.
I was watching the Sharks earlier. Like is every hockey fucking whatever stadium or ice rink, whatever you want to call it, is it always empty? Because the San Jose Sharks was empty as fuck when I was watching.
Really, the Sharks are a pretty well supported team from what I understand, but I don't think they make a lot of money.
It was empty. Like Jesus.
Are you sure you weren't watching the Panthers? Because that's the one the Sharks, especially when the Sharks are playing LA, because that's a pretty big rivalry.
I always see Bruins and Oilers. That's when I was growing up. That's the two like jerseys.
Now,
so I didn't know what they were, but that's what I call them most.
Yeah, look, your team is sort of like coming into the elite. They're moving into the elite. They're kind of painting their legacy right now. With the exception of Wayne Gretzky being on the team for so many years, the LA and Marcel Dion, who's one of the best players ever that nobody ever heard of. I mean, he's like top 5 in scoring. All time, but nobody knows because he played in LA when they really sucked.
Yeah, I don't know that.
You don't even know who he is. He's one of the greatest players I've ever seen in my life. I got to see him a little towards when I was a little kid. Would you agree?
Super
He's one of the best
underrated.
players ever, right? Marcel Dion.
He is definitely one of the most underrated.
Definitely, absolutely. And you all you got to do is like you look at the top 10 of or top 20 of like players, and you're like, yeah. Who the fuck is that guy? And it's just bizarre because he was passed over by the Montreal Canadiens, and he's French-Canadian pretty much because of his size. They went with Lafleur instead of Marcel Dion. So that's kind of your legacy. But now you got Doughty and Quick. These guys are probably future Hall of Famers. So you're kind of seeing the team. You know, when you're my age or a little older and like middle age, you'll look back at this time as like, boy, that was a really great time for the Kings if you become a hockey fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, Mom, I think I got to end this
sucker. I don't know if
sucker.
it's going to continue or they're just going to die down. That's what I want to know. Like,
what's that? You guys, it's very tough to tell. It's very tough to tell because you guys very much are still a Stanley Cup champion in a lot of ways. So you don't know if this. I've seen teams do this. They win the Stanley Cup, they tank, or they don't tank. I hate that word now. They don't play very well, and then they get in the big dance because it's 2 different seasons. It's not like the NBA. Nothing like the NBA. They get in there and they win the whole thing, or they make a huge dent. And it would not shock me even mildly if that's exactly what happens to the LA Kings. And if I'm a Western you know what? I'm an Eastern Conference fan. I want them out. I want them gone. I don't want to deal with them. I'm scared of them. So that's the way I feel about it. All right, Black Mom, I'll talk to you later. Time to end this sucker. I lost Jake. Sorry, Jake. Everybody called in at once. Nobody called in and think. I got to come up with a rule. All right, I'm shouting at people right now.
Can I mention something quickly that
Sure,
actually
go
popped
ahead.
up yesterday? It was a news story actually that I was going to mention on the show yesterday, but it was not something that I didn't want to take much time on.
Mm-hmm.
But according to my sources here, the Predators, Ribero, I can't pronounce his name properly.
Mike, you know, how do you say his name, Matt Kazar?
Ribero, and I hate
Ribero.
him because it's because of him that everyone thinks that Montreal dives.
Yeah.
He's the asshole who
Yeah,
started
he really
it.
is.
Apparently, him and his wife are sued by former nanny for alleged assault. So apparently, he's being sued for over $1 million, according to TMZ.
Yeah.
Ribero, 35, is accused of assaulting a woman back in 2012, according to a lawsuit obtained by this TMZ site. And it states that he and his wife apparently verbally assaulted and
Verbally
attacked her.
assaulted. Hold on. Verbal assault. Verbal assault's not a crime.
verbally attacked her after the alleged incident. So this was a physical, and then it was a verbal assault. Again, I'm going off the information that I'm seeing here. The woman has claimed unspecified injuries, and apparently, according to the lawyer for Ribero, it says that my clients strongly deny the allegations. We defend the lawsuit fully. We anticipate the true facts to come out in due course.
Is this in Canada or the United States, this particular lawsuit?
In the States. So, it's going to be a circus nonetheless.
Yeah, it's actually it's better off in the States because Ribero's not as famous as in Canada. It's better that it happens in the States. Well,
this literally was posted yesterday.
I saw this, and I don't know why I didn't pick it up. I think I would only give it because it just sounds like such bullshit. I don't buy it. Do you buy it?
A nanny probably got caught stealing, so they reprimanded her, and now she's like, and they're racist because I'm not Canadian.
This is like half a decade ago, right?
It was 2011, so it was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, and then the timing of the thing. What's the statute of limitations on assault?
Don't you love how the courts move so swiftly with justice?
Wait, did she file this 4 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's just getting in the media now?
Yeah.
And they say she physically I don't buy this for a minute. Well, look, and what are the odds of both him and his wife hitting her? What are the odds of them being that crazy? Although I heard his wife's kind of a pip, from what I understand. She's a bit of a pip.
He's a weirdo.
Nonetheless, I just thought I should bring it up.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's something to keep your eye on. It's because, the guy that looks like he could just walk on the Walking Dead set and play a zombie is always interesting.
He does.
What's going on in his life.
One thing I do want to say, though, although I'm not following Toronto anymore, it's kind of funny that Clarkson's out of it after he's
terrible.
Been from Toronto. Huh?
I was afraid to laugh. I was afraid to laugh at that.
I'm not.
I was going to write David Clarkson out for the year. It's funny, But I knew I'd get a lot of hits, but I'm glad I didn't do it.
The Leafs aren't so stupid, according to what they display.
It hasn't been my best effort today. But, I mean, it is kind of funny. It's bizarre.
It's hilarious.
Jesus Christ. I did fucking an hour and a half and fucking... It's just not, I don't know.
Now, if that could only happen with Lupul, Kessel, and Phaneuf, that would be great. They trade them to another team and then they get injured or something. That I would literally be laughing in the street for that.
We're not glad that they go. We would be laughing at the irony, right? Not the.
Well,
I
should say the Shot from the Point hockey channel here does not condone any sort of violence or any sort of injury towards these players. Dave Rose's opinion is solely of himself and not reflective of that of the show.
I think it's amusing that he got hurt. I'm not laughing at like good he got hurt, but it's just like I'm laughing at the irony. I don't want Clarkson hurt. I don't fucking.
No, I agree with you.
I know, yeah. That's like the one rule we have. But it was like how do I cover this?
Just so deliciously sweet.
If I would have titled this "Dave Clarkson got hurt," that's funny. I mean, I would have got a billion hits. I would have got a billion freaking hits. But then I started thinking about like what they did to Michael Neuwirth, and I was like, wow, how does that make me any better than them? It is funny. The irony's funny. It's not funny anybody gets hurt. I liked when Matt Cook got knocked the fuck out by that was 5 years ago when what's his name in Atlanta knocked him out. I forgot his name. He plays for Buffalo now. Like Vander Kane. It's when I go, honestly, this is the truth. This is the truth. I watch that clip when I'm feeling blue. I really do. I really do. I did it like I was a little like I don't know, like I heard something that kind of bummed me out like 2 hours ago. And I just said, Kane knocks out Cook. And I saw it, and I felt better. He's probably the only guy who could stomach it. But that's a fight, too. He chose to engage in that fight. So that's a little different. I think it's time to get out of here.
God damn, where are your brains, boy?
You are absolutely correct, Dad. It's time to go. And tonight in the National Hockey League. Actually, let's do last night. Let's do last night. What do you think we do that? Last night in the National Hockey League, Zidlicki recently acquired Zidlicki scores a power play goal in early overtime to give the Red Wings a 2-1 win over the New York Rangers. Big shout out to Cam Talbot. This was the first game that I thought, even though his record's good, He played like an all-star. And big shout out. No big loss over here. It was a great game. Maybe we don't talk about the Red Wings enough over here because they look like a very good team last night. And, we just barely lost it. And you're going to lose games like this to them. Talbot played fantastic. And so did Jimmy Howard. So let's give credit where credit's due. Fantastic game. Really looking forward to Sunday in Chicago. The heavyweights are getting it on. Andrew Hammond stops 35 shots as the Senators topple the Jets 3-1. And Gabriel Landeskog, I hate his name, does not roll off the tongue. Gabriel Landeskog leads the Avalanche to a 3-1 victory over the Penguins. Nice. Good job.
What the fuck happened here, Matt? 3-1 against the Ducks?
Yeah. Josh Gibson makes 37 saves.
It's because we traded Seacash.
Yeah, and Seacash got he got the game-winning assist or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funnier than his injury. That's funnier than fucking anybody getting injured on the goddamn. I gotta get the fuck out of here. NI Ducks take down Montreal 31 to claim first overall in the NHL. Wait a minute, that's not true. That's not true.
Yeah.
Who's fucking 89? No, it's not true at all. Nashville has 89 points. So don't get too fucking excited over there in Frenchy land. I have no fear of the goddamn Habs. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm gonna really regret that. But as a Ranger fan, I have no fear. And if you end up playing Boston, I don't think that would be a good first rounder for you. They would love to play you now because they got nothing.
Fear the habitants.
They have nothing to lose. Boston's got nothing to lose if they just squeak into the playoffs and end up in the Habs in the first round. Wouldn't that be a riot?
I'm not scared at all.
Yeah, I'll be light. Tonight in the National Hockey League at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Calgary Flames are in Boston to take on the Bruins. The St. Louis Blues, they take on the Philadelphia Flyers, and the North Stars are in Washington to take on the Caps. At 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the funniest team in all of the National Hockey League, Jeffrey Lupul will go around and sue every heckler. And don't throw your jersey on the ice if their name's on the back of it, because Jeffrey Lupul, find where you live. Or he'll ask you to step outside. Jeffrey Lupul plans to get his ass handed to him by Ryan Callahan, Steve Stamkos, and Tampa Bay Lightning. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, the Dallas Stars take on the Cats. Cats still fighting for a playoff shot. Go Cats, go Cats, go Cats, go. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Big matchup. The New York Islanders are in Nashville. Nashville's on a little bit of a slide. Might want to, hey, Nashville, do me a favor, take one off the island. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Nucks, Yotes. That's all you need to know because it's going to be a terrible game. 10:30, the night game. The Stanley Cup champions are taking the number one team in the East, the Montreal Canadiens. Habs, Kings, tonight. You staying up late tonight?
Allons-y, habitants.
The habitants take on the Stanley Cup champion. Will give us the cup. It rightfully belongs in Montreal. What do you think of that?
Poutine Tabernacle.
Why did you become a Habs fan? You speak English.
I don't know. It's weird. I speak a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of bullshit. Seriously, like why did you become like a Habs fan? Like why couldn't you be like a normal person like with beliefs?
Parce qu'il est dans province de Québec, monsieur.
What else am I supposed to become?
I don't know. Who's your favorite junior team?
I don't know. I don't follow junior
at all. You follow the juniors, Dave Rose?
A little bit, but Ben is fucking nuts on that. He's always quoting junior scores and stuff in the chat. Like he's on the ball with that.
Why don't they have a junior package like they have an NHL package? I don't understand that. I'd buy it.
I think I'm going to start. Well, I have actually no idea why they don't do that, but the cable companies here, there's even fewer than the States, so it's always a monopoly here. But because I'm now free of having to worry about the Leafs, I'm gonna try to start following some more minor league teams, and maybe I'll go see a few games and record a a few things. Yes,
they're probably cheaper
for the show.
They're probably cheaper, right? You know what I mean?
Damn straight, they're fucking cheaper.
Cheaper? You get a I mean, it's a damn near NHL product.
Cheaper, or I should say 90% cheaper.
I'd love to go to a junior game. I would be like an
honor. Oh man, you should when you come up here, I want you to come with me to at least a practice or a game in one of these indoor arenas and rinks, because I think you'll have a blast, dude.
I would. And you know what I would say when I got there? I would say, "Hey, I'm Tommy C from Shot from the Point. Get out of my crease!" Go check out Border, band from Argentina. They did the song The Way Down Isn't Too Cool. Thank you very much for listening to In the Crease with Tommy C. And I hope to see you Sunday for the beginning of our broadcast week. Peace.